Am I overreacting by regretting getting married to my husband? I never thought I would be looking up divorce lawyers a week before my second wedding anniversary. I never thought I would consider leaving the love of my life, but now I do not think I know him. I never understood the people who would leave their partner over the smallest disagreements, but now I get it. It is not about that small thing. It is a culmination of several injustices that lead to a horrible realization. My partner does not care for me as much as I do for them. They may love me, but do they care about me? I have had quite a lot of time to think about all that over the past couple of days because of an incident that happened at home. When I came home 2 nights ago, I was extremely tired. Usually, I power through no matter what and never ask my husband to lift a finger. I have never minded taking care of him. It comes naturally. I have never been in a position where I could not take care of the household. The one time I got sick, he was away on business, and his sister came to help me out of the house. So, when I found that I was too weak to even hold a knife, and that the painkillers were not working, I asked if he didn't mind ordering us some pizza. He complained when I asked him, citing that he had a long day and wanted a home-cooked meal. I told him that I was way too tired and was fighting to stay awake. Maybe he could cook that night. I have never seen such a look of shock on my husband's face. He did not say anything, but the look gave, "Where do you get the audacity?" He frowned and told me to suck it up. It would barely take me an hour to whip something up. So, I asked if it would kill him to get off his phone and help me out for once. I never asked for help around the house, but today I was feeling terrible. I had a long week with long hours at the office and no time to rest at home. I did not feel great and felt I needed a power nap. Worst of all, the next afternoon, we had a family event that I needed to help with. He told me that there was no way he as a man would stand in the kitchen. He told me that I could continue being stubborn if I wanted, but he would rather get divorced than do your job. He claimed that as the man of the house, he had already done enough by bringing the bread. For context, my husband and I go 50-50 on the bills. It has been that way since the beginning of the relationship. Honestly, I fell for him so hard when we met, and I did not want him to think I was with him for his money. Since I was working, I did not see a problem in going Dutch. Due to my going half, we were also able to be more financially stable as a couple. When we got married, I naturally took over the household, and he barely did anything. Before I lived with him, he used to hire a cleaning service and eat at my house or order takeout. Now that I think about it, he has never once taken care of himself. How could I have been so blind? Wow, love truly makes a fool of everyone. And I paid severely for it that night. The first time the dirge was uttered in our household was that night, and you best believe that all hell broke loose. I usually keep my composure, no matter how upset I am at him. I do not believe that shouting or nagging solves any problems. Sometimes I concede during a disagreement just to keep the peace. But that night, it was like a damn wall broke. I snapped and told him to divorce me then if doing a simple thing as helping his overworked wife was impossible. He was lucky he got to work, came home, and rested while I was on my feet 24/7. Now I was picking up extra shifts so that we would be financially okay. But he did not appreciate that. The only reason I am picking up extra shifts is to get his car serviced. He has been complaining about the car having issues and needing a lot of work. I know that right now in our budget, we cannot get it serviced without sacrificing something important. I have quietly been picking up those extra shifts so that I can pay for his car to get fixed. If it wakes up not working one day, then it will be hard for him to get to work. We work in opposite directions, so we would probably end up sharing my car and spending extra on public transport. I blurted all of that out in my rant and watched as his face changed. He wanted to say something, but all I saw was red as I kept on screaming at him. Then suddenly I felt intense pain so bad that I passed out. When I woke up, I had been admitted to the hospital. Apparently, the exhaustion and my high blood pressure had caused this to happen. The doctor said if my stress levels kept rising, then I would develop a chronic illness. He said that this was going to happen sooner or later. Whatever happened that day had pushed me to the edge. Hearing that I was so tired and stressed that I had gotten sick was a shock to me. The seriousness of the issue and the possibility of suffering a heart attack or stroke at my age also scared me. I was told that I had to rest and reduce my workload. Otherwise, the next time I came back to the hospital, I would be in a worse condition. I phased in and out for the rest of that night, but at some point, I was woken up by my husband's voice. Maybe he woke me up, or I was already waking up, but it was at the wrong moment. I do not know who he was speaking to, but he was telling someone that I was overdramatic, and that was why I ended up in the hospital. He said that he never knew that I was unhinged like that. Women truly were crazy. He said that there was no way he was going to do my job for me. He could not believe that I had gone crazy over some cooking. A woman's voice responded to him and asked if he was not being too harsh. Maybe he could help out a couple of days a week. He asked her if this was how their mom and dad lived. Their mom had always taken care of the house while their dad worked hard. The woman responded and said that their mom was not working and managing a house at the same time. He then asked her how she did it because clearly I could not handle marriage. I realized that he was speaking to his sister, my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law told him that she hardly worked a couple of days a week, and her husband helped with the kids and whatever she needed. My husband then said that it was not like he did not help out. He took out the trash without being asked. I could hear my sister-in-law's eyes roll through the door. She told him that he had better be careful not to lose a good woman like me. Before all this, she had never heard me complain about him. Clearly, if I were complaining, then something was wrong. He told her that he was not in the mood for her nonsense. Then I heard their voices drift away. I felt my entire body grow cold as their voices faded. I could not believe that this was how he truly felt about me. I did not mind doing everything because I thought that he would take care of me if I got sick. Turns out that he only cared about himself and did not think that I was tired. I was a person too, not some robot for him to command as he pleased. Worst of all, his own sister was trying to help change his perspective, but he did not seem interested. It made me think of how he would treat me if I ended up developing a chronic illness and could not work or do the household chores. If that was his definition of a good wife, then I would no longer be a good wife for him. Then what is the point in staying? Should I go against what I wished for myself while growing up and get a divorce? My family will not be okay with this, but my feelings toward my husband have changed. Comments. Comment 1. May Robinson Op. I deeply empathize with the situation you are in. I hope that you end up feeling better soon and can fix things with your husband. I understand that overhearing that conversation he had with his sister shattered your view of him. It would be understandable if you walked away, but I think you should pause a bit. Despite all of this, the two of you still love each other. You promise to be with each other no matter what. How can you give up on your marriage without first trying to fix it? I urge you to speak to him and maybe get a couples therapist involved. I think he does not understand how difficult it is to walk in your shoes. I am sure that once he knows what it is like, he will have more empathy and be more cooperative. Please give your marriage a chance before you completely pull the plug. People can be set in their ways, but they are also capable of change. I am sure if you find a way to get through to him, he will become a better husband. Update 1. 2 weeks later, one day I was happily married and then it all came apart. Now I am headed for divorce. My anniversary gift for my husband is now going to pay for the divorce lawyer. Yes, that is how badly things have turned out for me. The divorce is not even the worst part about all this. But do not worry, I will catch you up to date. Even though my heart had completely darkened toward my husband, I decided to keep calm. The last thing I needed was to feel worse and end up staying in the hospital for longer. Eventually, I brought up the conversation about the management of the house with my husband. I told him that I was not telling him to take over everything. I just wanted him to help out a bit more. Even if it was just a couple of days a week doing things like cooking and loading the dishwasher, I would be very grateful. He told me that he would do no such thing, and if I needed rest, then I could pay for the maid. I told him that we would have to rework the budget, but maybe that would be better. He laughed and said that he was not going to pay for her. I would have to use my maintenance money, since taking care of the house was my job. I was taken aback by how smug he looked. I had never seen him look at me in that way, but that confirmed what I suspected. He only cared about getting his way and did not care if I suffered for it. I decided to drop the subject and focus on getting better. On the day that I was discharged, my sister came to pick me up. I told her everything that happened and confided in how I did not want to live with my husband anymore. She was very nice to me about it and said that she would not mind me staying with her for as long as I needed. I expected her to ask if I was crazy for wanting to leave my husband, but she pleasantly surprised me. I asked if she was not going to ask for my reasoning, but she said no. It was almost as if she was not shocked that I was leaving him. This was also the reaction of my friends when I told them what was happening. In fact, it was like they were breathing a sigh of relief that I was leaving. They did not say a single bad thing about him, but they said they were glad that I was choosing myself. So, how did my husband react to me leaving him? As you can imagine, he was not pleased at all. In fact, he called me nonstop when he got home to find out that I was not there. When I did not respond, he sent many voice notes insulting me and demanding that I come back home. I told him to look on the kitchen counter and get back to me. On the kitchen counter was my wedding ring. I told him that he was getting what he wanted, since he would rather get divorced than help his wife out. I made the choice for him. He was like a broken record, begging me to tell him that this was a prank. He said that he only said that to shut me up, and he never meant it. He begged me to come back so we could fix things. He would figure out how to help me out. He did not want to separate. I told him that it was a little too late. Now he was free of a crazy and overdramatic woman like me. He has since been blowing up my phone and has even told my family. My parents have summoned me to their house tomorrow. I will let you all know how it goes. Update 2. 2 weeks later. If life gets any worse than it is right now, then I do not know what to do. I am so drained as betrayal after betrayal rains down on me. Turns out people only love you when you are a certain way. And the same goes for family. My meeting with my parents left me in tears because of the things that were said there. I went there with the intention of telling them what happened and explaining why I was leaving. I knew they did not agree with divorce, but I thought their love for me was far greater than that. I did not even get a chance to explain my side of the story because Steve had already beaten me to it. That was not a meeting. It was an ambush. My parents told me that they were very disappointed in the way I had acted. They did not raise me like this. They said I was very lucky that Steve was willing to forgive me and take me back. They would not allow me to perform any more stunts like this. How dare I cheat on my husband? Can you actually believe that he was accusing me of cheating? He claimed that I had been working so many late hours and did not have time for him. It was clear I was cheating with a colleague, and that I had fainted from guilt that evening. Hopefully, it was just guilt and not some disease that I brought home. I tried to explain myself but was interrupted each time. Eventually, I stopped trying to explain myself and just listened to them telling me what to do. They told me that I was going to attend marriage counseling at the church with my husband and asked to change departments at work. If I did not do that, then it was better for me to look for another job. I refused, reiterating that it was all lies and that I was leaving him because he was selfish and did not care about me. I would rather leave and go against my beliefs than end up dying from stress. My mom literally clutched her pearls because she could not believe that I was leaving such a good man. She told me to call my sister into the house and leave them. I waited in the car, and after 10 minutes, my sister came out and she was pissed. She started going on about how short-sighted our parents were. She was not going to kick me out just to force me to move back in with my husband. Oh dear. They were actually bullying my sister and making her life difficult so they could get their way. This was way too much. I did not say anything, but when we got home, I told her that I was going to visit my ex. When I entered our apartment, it was like I had walked into a dump site. Dishes were all over the place, weird stains clinging onto every surface, and a funky smell was in the air. Worst of all, bottles enough to stock a store were littered all over the place. My ex-husband lay on the ground and he was passed out. I shook him awake and told him to go take a bath because he stank like high heaven. When he came out, I was standing in the middle of the house, because there was not a single clean surface to sit on. When he samed me, he started acting happy and telling me that he loved me a lot. But I cut him short. I told him that if he kept on telling lies about me, I would open a defamation of character case against him. He had ruined any chance of us getting back together. We were done. The next thing I knew, my back hit the counter behind me. He had actually pushed me and was in my face. I will not repeat every single word he said verbatim, but the gist of it was that he would hurt me terribly if I continued to embarrass him. He did not believe in divorce and would rather I be 6 feet under than let me go. Chills went down my spine as I looked into those cold eyes. I could not believe that I had once loved those eyes. A second later, he stepped back and apologized for losing his temper. He said that he would take us out for lunch so we could properly talk. Then he went to the bedroom to fetch his wallet. When he came back, I was gone, having keyed it in the direction of the police station. Update 3, 5 months later. Hey all, I just wanted to send some proof of life. Many of you have expressed concern about me, considering what happened last time I posted an update. Physically, I am okay, but it will take time to heal the emotional wounds that my ex inflicted on me. Yes, I said, ex and not husband because I am finally free from that person. I never planned on getting divorced. But when I found out how dangerous my husband was, I chose my life. I would not want to have kids with him and subject them to whatever darkness he had inside him. After the incident in the apartment, I opened a case against him. And soon enough, there was a restraining order in place. With me out of his reach, he found other ways to hurt me. He lied about me to everyone in my life, and I lost some very important relationships because of that. Instead of fighting him legally, I just pushed for the divorce to happen as quickly as possible. Eventually, he signed the papers, probably realizing that there was no winning. My family was so upset with me when they found out I was actually going ahead with it. His family insulted me in every way possible and made me out to be the villain, but I did not let it get to me. His sister was the only person who did not insult me. She did not speak to me for the most part, but one day she placed a reassuring hand on my shoulder when we bumped into each other at the store. Yes, it was a very small thing, but it meant the world to me. I knew she could not go against her brother publicly, but her silent support helped. The divorce case was something else. It brought forward some interesting truths. My husband and I were married in community of property. Therefore, any assets we acquired after marriage would be divided equally. We had to submit information regarding all our income and expenses so that a proper evaluation could be done. Guess what I found? My husband was not earning what I thought he was. No, he was hiding a huge chunk of the money from me, even though we had agreed to have a joint account. When we separated, he prevented me from accessing that account, and I had to start receiving my salary in a new account. I decided to let it go because I knew we would soon end up in court. Because of these lies, it was determined that he had understated his income and gone against our agreement. Since we were in a community of property, everything had to be divided. So, that is exactly what happened. I walked away with 10, 0Z and 0 loss in that divorce case, while he walked away looking very bitter, calling me a gold digger. It was funny how I always feared him calling me a gold digger when he was the real gold digger. I did everything for him and never asked him to pay for a single thing that I wanted. As a reward, he got me to put my entire salary into our joint account while he was hiding his money. I am so glad that I ended up in the hospital that evening, otherwise I would not have found out the truth. Maybe he would have sweet-talked himself out of the comment he made and made me feel guilty for daring to ask him for help. It was never just about the cooking. It was about having a partner. I never had a problem with taking care of him. But I am a person too. I need to be taken care of too. Marriage is about that. And he did not embody that. I did not get out of a marriage. I got out of a parasitic relationship. It is such a pity that my parents still won't talk to me to this day because they think I betrayed them and tarnished our reputation. Final update, 3 months later. Hey all, I cannot believe it has been 3 months. It feels like it has been 3 years since the divorce. I feel so different, much lighter and happier. I have been focusing the past couple of months on my health and nurturing friendships that I have abandoned. I am not permanently staying with my sister, at least until she moves at the end of the year to get married to her fiancé, who is out of the country. I have reduced my work hours and focused full-time on managing my stress. Taking better care of my health has worked because the doctor said I am less at risk of developing a chronic illness. I feel so much better now and less exhausted. So clearly, whatever I am doing is helping. It has barely been 3 months since we got divorced. But my ex is looking worse for wear. People who were blaming me for losing a good man are now coming to me and asking what really happened. They are saying that clearly I was the one keeping him looking so presentable, and now he was looking horrible while I was glowing. He looks so unkempt and dirty like he is homeless. He has become the laughing talk of the town, and his family is very embarrassed. His mother has messaged me on more than one occasion to cuss me out for turning her son into the shadow of his former self. I am not responsible for how he takes care of himself. Unfortunately, he is the one who got used to taking care of me, and now that I am gone, his own lack of care is showing. I have not really spoken to him ever since. He stopped harassing me online a while ago. He had a lot of rage in the beginning, but I think that faded. That is the thing about rage. It can never last forever. When it fades, you are left with a hollow emptiness. I say that because I also had rage regarding all that happened. I lamented the years I spent taking care of him and wasting away. I would look at pictures from months ago and beat myself up for not seeing how drained I was looking. Eventually, I had to stop being angry and choose to move forward. I have so much time left. I can still meet someone who will treat me right. However, not is not the time despite the amount of date requests I am getting. It's very funny and I wish I could show my mother. She told me that I would be lucky if anyone wanted to date me now, that I was a failure. She swore that I would probably end up alone, and I told her that it was not the worst thing in the world. The ink had not even dried after the divorce, and guys were already coming out of the woodwork to text me. I ignored them due to not being ready, but they kept on. However, my sister and I had a good laugh when not one, not two, but four of my husband's so-called friends slid into my DMs. One of them even went as far as telling me that he had stopped being friends with my husband because he was now a loser. He said that my husband lost a very good wife, and he would like to show me that he could treat me better. I laughed and blocked him. I was not dumb. There was no world in which a lion played with lambs. They were all trying to make themselves seem better than him because they had heard what he did. The fact that they were friends with me told me that I would be getting into the same situation. There was no indication that they were friends with someone who did not align with their values. For now, I am keeping my DMs closed and focusing on keeping my health at peak. I have learned that if something is stealing your life force, then it is most likely a parasite that needs to be gotten rid of before it does more damage. Comments. Comment 1 Live Mayor. I am so proud of you, OP. I know that it was not easy to go against the way you were brought up. I am sure that the divorce process was difficult, but your life means so much more. I am certain that in a couple of years you will meet someone who appreciates you. I am glad that you are taking a break from the dating scene and focusing on your health. Sometimes we are always on the go to the point where we forget to take care of our health. It should be our #1 priority because without it, there is no life. Kudos to your sister for sticking by you even though your parents did not support you. Good on you for protecting your peace and not begging them to be on your side. 1. They will regret their decision, but it will be too late.